Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to be doing an updated brow routine for you guys. I'm going to be showing you how I get that laminated, full and fluffy brow look. And yes, I know this is like the 5th time I've worn this sweatshirt in my latest video since quarantine started. I don't know what to tell you. It's just my daily outfit. So a little disclaimer before we get into this video, I just want to explain that my brows naturally grow pretty straight up. I have a mixed brow growth. So my front hairs grow upwards, and then once it starts to get down to the tail, the hairs start to grow a little bit downwards. It's not too bad, so when I brush them upwards with brow gel or whatever, I can give them the illusion of them brushing straight up. Now there are a lot of people whose brow hairs do grow straight down, and that's where you guys would probably need a little bit more help. So I actually offer brow lamination at my work. Brow lamination is a fairly new service, and basically it's perming your eyebrow hairs or straightening your eyebrow hairs. We put a chemical solution on top of your brow hairs and brush them straight upwards so that they are straightened. And after 24 hours, you can wash your brows and then you can brush your hairs in any direction that you want. I actually got my brows laminated about 2 months ago by my coworker, and it was awesome. I loved it. I don't technically need brow lamination just because my brows do grow pretty upwards. But I have done a lot of lamination on people whose hairs grow down, and it has like changed the game for them. So I'm just telling you this. So for the people who can't get their brow hairs to brush straight up with just brow gel, lamination is an option for you if you're wanting a more full and fluffy brow look. So let's go ahead and get right into it. Okay, so these are my brows naturally without any makeup on. I haven't even brushed them or anything. I do have a little bit of microblading left from about 2 years ago. It's very light and a little bit warm. Sometimes the camera makes it look really, really warm, but it's really not that warm in person. It's actually barely noticeable in person. So first thing that I do when I'm about to do my brows is I take a little spoolie. I'm just using the one on the end of the brow pencil that I use, and that is the Hourglass Arch Brow Pencil in Platinum Blonde. This is my favorite brow pencil right now. So first thing that I do is I like to brush the hairs straight upwards just to give them a fluffy look before I get started, and also to kind of measure out my brows. So everybody's brows grow differently. That's the one thing I've learned as a microblader is nobody has perfect brows. And even the people who think they have perfect brows don't have perfect brows. There's always something uneven about somebody's brows. So a good way to determine that on your own face is to take a selfie straight on. A lot of people don't do that when they take selfies. They kind of like tilt their head or whatever, and we do it without thinking. So a good way is to take a selfie straight on and to click edit. When you crop the photo, you can kind of slide the bar back and forth and it can tilt the photo like this, and it has straight across vertical lines. And that way you can kind of like see the difference in your brows by using those vertical lines. It's really hard to tell on your own face. It took me years to figure out that this brow grew way higher than this brow, and then it took me a little more time to figure out how to even that out. So I finally feel like I've got it perfectly down. I can do it in less than like 5 minutes. So I go ahead and brush my hairs straight upwards, and then this is the only brow product that I use, and then a clear brow gel. That's it. So first thing that I do is I always start on my right brow. This is the one that's the lower brow, and I'll start on the top so that I can even it out with the top of this brow. And I'm just using really light pressure. I don't like my brows to be very dark. I used to make my brows super dark. Not into that anymore. I like the more softer, lighter look. I do feel like my old microblading does help me. It's kind of like a guideline to where I know where to draw, so it definitely makes the process a lot faster. So right there, pretty much evened out the tops of my brows just by adding that little line on top of there. So then what I'll do is I'll finish off the tail just with light strokes, make it a little bit thicker. And then for the front of this brow, I like to add a few hair strokes in the front just because the front of this brow is so much fuller than this side, so I try to compensate for that. And then I'll just lightly go over the bottom. And then I will move on to the other eyebrow. This one's a little bit easier. I basically just follow the hair on this side and build up the tail towards the end. Okay, so this is them filled in. Sometimes I'll leave them just like this. Sometimes I will put on clear brow gel and call it good. And then sometimes I will carve them out with concealer on the bottom to make them look extra perfect and extra precise. Usually I do that when I film a video or when I'm taking a selfie for Instagram or whatever. But most of the time I just fill them in, put a little bit of brow gel in them, call it good. The beauty of doing fuller, fluffier brows is they don't have to be perfectly perfect and symmetrical. Honestly, I feel like the fluffier your brows are, the more natural they look, and it's okay if they don't look perfect on your face, you know? Obviously, when I'm microblading, I am trying to get them as perfect as possible, but when you're just filling them in, you don't want to have to worry about that every single day. So it is nice to just go with the fluffy option sometimes. Okay, next I am going to put some clear brow gel in, and my favorite brow gel ever is the Anastasia Beverly Hills Clear Brow Gel. This tube is super old, kind of gross, I need to buy another one, but this is the best brow gel ever. It holds the hair so well. It's like super glue for your brows, but it doesn't feel heavy, it doesn't feel crunchy. It's just like the perfect brow gel. I've been using it for years and never want to go back to another brow gel. This is really simple. I basically just brush my brow hairs straight upward. I give them a little bit of a slant when it goes down to the tail, but for the most part, I just brush them straight up. And I do know that I am fortunate when it comes to the amount of brow hair that I have. I don't have as full of brows as some people, but I do have a good amount of brow hair, and the biggest piece of advice I can give you guys if you're struggling with the amount of brow hair that you have is just don't pluck. Stop plucking. Seriously, stop plucking. I haven't plucked my brows in probably a year now. If I have any stray hairs or like something looks a little funky or off, I'll take a little facial razor and I'll tick off hairs that way. But plucking is just a black hole for me. It's a vortex. I literally will get so close to a mirror and I'll start plucking and I won't stop until I have little tiny line eyebrows. So, and I did that for years, so I'm really thankful that my brows did decide to grow back somewhat. So yeah, biggest piece of advice, stop plucking your eyebrows. They will probably grow back the second you stop doing that. Okay, and last step, and this is totally optional, like I said, when I'm trying to be extra fancy and I'm trying to look extra good, I'll take a little bit of concealer. Any concealer that you're using. I'm using the Tarte Shape Tape Concealer in Fair Neutral today. Just take a little tiny dollop on the back of your hand and a flat concealer brush. Any brush will do with a flat edge. And I only carve out my brows underneath and right on the end of my tail. I don't touch up here. I like it to be kind of fuzzy up towards the front. I used to do carving out my entire brow, and looking back on photos, it just looks way too harsh on me. I like how my brows look a lot better now, just how they're nice and fluffy and soft towards the inner corner. So only the underneath and towards the tail on the top. Okay, and sometimes I'll go back in with a little more brow gel. Okay, and that is pretty much it. Thank you guys so much for watching. Before I go, I just wanted to give you a little quick update. If you guys have been watching my past videos, I have been getting ready for the move into my house. Chloe and I have been in this apartment for about 3.5 years now, and I recently bought a house and we thought we were gonna be moving in around June 14th, but it turns out we're probably gonna be moving around June 1st. We have to start packing everything. Thank God I already did a makeup declutter. I don't know what I would be doing right now. I'd be running around like a chicken with its head cut off right now if I hadn't already done that. But we are gonna be starting to pack a lot in the next week or two. So I'm gonna be filming that whole process and showing you guys the whole move-in process and all of that. I'm really excited to show you guys. This has been something that I've been wanting to do for a really long time. This has been my goal for about 5 years, and I'm so happy that it's finally happening and that I get to show you guys, and I hope that you guys are excited too. So keep a lookout for more packing videos and stuff like that. But yeah, that's pretty much it. I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. I hope that you learned a little bit more about how to get that laminated brow look. And yeah, that's pretty much it. I'll see you in my next video. Bye guys.